Hi there, welcome to Cupcake College's The DevBox short series. I figured to make a full separate video for all the tools that a developer would need. As a programmer, you should try to avoid repeating yourself, and that applies to videos too. This one is about XAMPP, a program which simulates a live server and works with databases and server-side languages. It comes with all sorts of fancy stuff, such as Apache, the server, mysql, the database, as well as PHP and Perl, the languages. On top of that, it is cross-platform, which is why it is recommended as the tool to use since it covers practically everyone. On apachefriends.org is where you'll download XAMPP, and there are two ways to do so. The first way is the basic one for babies, where you download an exe file and install it like any regular application. The second way is downloading a portable version through SourceForge. You can pick any way you want, and we will do both in a tutorial where you upgrade XAMPP, but for now if you want to follow along, just download it in the regular baby sort of way. We will download the version with PHP 7 and afterwards upgrade it to PHP 8. The second step is totally optional, and you will be able to follow along no problem even without the upgrades. So here we will click on the button called Download 64-bit. Yours might be a little bit different because I'm using a Windows 64-bit operating system. So you click this button and it leads you to a download success. It says your download will start automatically. And here you can download it practically anywhere. I'm just going to download it to the desktop. You can go to the downloads or any place. So you can pick that and you click save. So now when you click save, it's going to take a little bit. As you can see, it's a pretty big file. Not really that big, just like 160 megabytes big. So it's going to take a little bit to download. So here I'm going to skip, and after that we will go through the installation. So when you download it, you get this icon here, which is a XAMPP installer. And when you click that, when you open it, you get this window for the setup, which is the XAMPP setup wizard. So you click next, and here it will download practically everything, which is Apache, MySQL, FileZilla, Tomcat, Mercury, etc., PHP, Perl. Some of this stuff is non-negotiable, like Apache and PHP. As you can see, if I try to click it, it's not gonna let me like not download it because it's very essential to the whole thing. So it's gonna download like PHP, my admin, Webalizer, and all of this stuff is, I mean, some of this stuff is not that important, but in the future, if you'd like to use like FileZilla or Mercury or whatever, you can download it and reinstall it again or whatever. But for now, we will just use Apache, MySQL. We're gonna use PHP and PHP myadmin. But like I said, keep everything just here, just in case if you'd like to use it in the future. So with everything checked, you can select the folder, and this folder here right now, no, no, keep the current color scheme. It's my Windows just being bad. Sorry about that, folks. So it says please choose a folder to install XAMPP. So because I'm doing this for tutorial sakes, I will show you here. In the C, there's already a folder called XAMPP. So if I click this, it's just probably gonna override, it's gonna warn me. And I don't want that to happen. So what I want to do is that in the D drive, I'm going to install XAMPP. So what I'll do is I'll change this from C to D, then I'll click next. And here, there's like two different languages for like the English people, or for the Germans or Deutsch. And there's like we're gonna pick the English one, because of course we speak English. If you don't speak English, I mean, good luck following this course, and I admire you for trying. So we click the next, and as you can see here, there's like some of these little pop-ups come up, and we're going to install this later on in the video. There's like a Bitnami, for example. There's like a WordPress and other kind of stuff, and you can click learn more, and it's probably gonna open like let's see what happens when we do it. So well, yeah, of course, when we do that, it opens like a whole new window and says say hello, it's your favorite blah blah blah, and it just kind of offers. But like I said, you should always be vigilant when you install applications, because all the programs, they like to throw in a couple of things like a, I don't know, like their application or some antivirus or whatever. So you shouldn't just go like next. Like just slow down and be careful what you install. But here it's just like a regular pop-up page, which I could just show you what it was. So here we go next. Like I said, we forgot to close it, so it opened again. Whoops, my bad. But if you can see here, like if you just click like that, it's not gonna open again. So it says setup is now ready to begin installing XAMPP on your computer. And when you click next, it's going to install it. And it's gonna take a little bit. So I'm just going to skip right here and I will show you what happens after that. So you can see it's installing, it's unpacking files, and it's gonna take a little bit because there's a lot of files there. For example, like since we're here, like we're just letting the setup continue, I'm just going to show you what's gonna install in my regular XAMPP. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff to unpack. There's like htdocs, there's like images, mysql, perl, php, phpMyAdmin, and all of these folders have folders of their own. So it's not like XAMPP is not doing a lot. It's doing a lot. It's unpacking a lot of files, like FileZilla, and there's like an anonymous, I don't know what even this is, blah blah. There's like Apache, which is like the server thing, and all of these folders have like some files. Some folders have folders of their own. So there's folders and folders and folders and folders. So it's going to take a little bit. Okay, so I clicked the link, which is basically, yeah, so it's just the same link which leads to like Bitnami here, because Bitnami is what made XAMPP along with some other folks. So they're just basically advertising some other stuff like WordPress for Bitnami, deploy Bitnami apps in the cloud. I mean, it's a free app, so of course, I mean, you get to enjoy all of that, and they get to advertise to you. That's the price you pay. So here I'm going to skip because there's nothing much to show right now. So after the files unpack, I will show you what we did. So here, once the installation is over, you will probably get two windows. One is for the Windows security alert. It says that Firewall has blocked some features of this program, which is fine. It's just Windows being cautious. So what you want to do is just to allow access. That's number one. Number two is that it says completing the XAMPP setup wizard. This means that the setup has been completed. There's just one more thing to do. You need to start it up. And if you click finish, you will have a UI interface open up for XAMPP. And we're not going to do it like that. I'm just going to show you how to open the XAMPP without this help over here, so you know how to do it in the future. So untick this and click finish. And now I'm going to show you how to do that. So here in the D drive, like we said, we're going to install XAMPP here. We can see this folder called XAMPP. We're going to go here, we're going to go down, and we're going to look for something that starts XAMPP. So there's three different things here: the XAMPP start, XAMPP stop, and XAMPP control. So you would think intuitively you should go for XAMPP start, and then this opens, and then you're just like, what the hell is happening? Like, what is happening here? Did I get hacked? What is this matrix stuff? I don't know what's going on. What are these letters? So that's not how you do that. I don't have much experience here because there's no need to have an experience, since the way to do it is you go here down to XAMPP control. And when you open this, you'll notice that the MySQL is green. Don't be scared, because I will show you. I'm going to stop it and I'm going to reopen the control again. And when I reopen the control again, it's not going to be green. The reason why it's green is because we've went to XAMPP start, and as you can see here, it says MySQL starting as process 3844. So this XAMPP start did start the MySQL, but it didn't start the Apache. So as you can see, it's a little bit weird. So you go to control, the MySQL is already started. We're going to click stop, like we've just opened the control panel, and this window would have opened if you haven't like unticked the previous one when the setup finished. So here is the Apache. The Apache is the server, and MySQL, which works with the databases. So the way to start it is, of course, to click start. So you click start, and the Apache starts, and then you click MySQL, and the MySQL starts, and everything is going great. So how to find out if this is going great is if you go here and you type in localhost in your Chrome browser, it's going to say welcome to XAMPP. See this? This means that everything is doing great. And localhost basically means that you are running a server on your computer. And localhost, you can also do it like this. If you're feeling fancy, you can do 127.0.0.1. And that is basically the same thing. 127.0.0.1 is basically the port for the localhost. So you don't have to type in that, you just have to type in localhost, and it's gonna give you the dashboard. And this dashboard has two different things that are important. It has PHP info and PHP myadmin. So if you click PHP info, I did it with the middle mouse button, by the way. So you can click the middle mouse button, you can open like how many windows you want. So this opens a PHP version 7.4.29. And as you can see, that means that you have the PHP version, it's running, and we can use PHP. If you click PHP myadmin, it's gonna open, and it's gonna say, this is PHP myadmin, you can see this. If you can see this, everything is okay. So there are several reasons why you might not be able to see this, and here's why. So if you go to control panel and you stop the MySQL, you can still see this. I mean, you've stopped it, but you can still see this even though MySQL works with this. But if you click refresh or reload, it says access denied. And there's this big red box just staring you in the face as MySQL said cannot connect. Real connect, blah, blah, nothing's working. Retry to connect. There's a button, you just retry it. And you don't get anything. It's retry to connect. You don't get it because you don't have MySQL. So you start the MySQL, and there it is. And by accident I opened two control panels. So don't worry about that. So here's now when you go to PHP myadmin. And when it reopens again, MySQL started, PHP info is okay. So let's try to close the Apache again. So when you close down the Apache, none of this is gonna work basically, because you don't have the web server, the local host doesn't work, so therefore nothing else works. So it says this site can't be reached. It's like the internet is gone. Look at this sad face. So yeah, Apache starts, the server is up, we're gonna refresh it. We're gonna refresh it here, and as you can see, PHP myadmin works, PHP info works, everything works. So with this, you have XAMPP running and everything is okay. So now that we basically start XAMPP, have PHP, and have PHP myadmin, I'm going to show you where to put the files that you're going to use in your web server. And you do it here in the folder called htdocs. So here you can see there's already a couple of photos. Here you see the dashboard. So this kind of stuff, this has like an index, like a PHP file it's going to pull, and this is how this localhost dashboard gets displayed. So here we're going to add a new folder called, let's say, my new folder. As you can see, like, remember this dashboard, so you see my new folder. So we're going to change the dashboard to my new folder. And here there says index of my new folder means that this folder exists on our server. Like the dashboard one, which is this one, my new folder, now also exists. As you can see, index of my new folder, and if I add my new folders, it's not going to know what it is because that kind of folder doesn't exist on the server. It says the request URL was not found on the server. So we're going to go back to my new folder, and here we're just going to add a new file. We're gonna call it hello world. Yep. So here we're going to open it in the Notepad++. You can do it in Notepad++, you can do it in Visual Studio Code, or you can do it in any other IDE that you're using, like like development environment. You can do it in any one you like, but for now, for this little kind of stuff, for single files, I prefer to use the Notepad++. So it's gonna open, and we're going to let's first save it, and here we're going to go to desktop, we're going to computer, D drive, where we have the XAMPP running, and we go to XAMPP and htdocs, and we're going to go to my new folder, and we're going to call it hello.php. Remember that. It says save new type for just to be sure. You can do it like text file, but just to be sure, do it like this, like hello, and it's going to save it as hello PHP file. And like you've seen before, it takes such a long time to do all of that, so I recommend you do this. You go to htdocs, you go to send to, and you go to desktop, create shortcut. So here there's a shortcut called htdocs. We're going to rename it as XAMPP files, because you can call it whatever it is. It's just a shortcut. Remember, it's just a shortcut that points to an htdocs folder. And I like doing this because it's way easier to access it. Like you've seen before you had to go to like new, you have to like save as, and it's gonna be a little bit nice now because I'm already in htdocs. But if I'm not in htdocs, let's say that I'm in C, whatever, and I'm in like a program files, and I'm in this Black Magic design, whatever this is. So now that I'm here, like I'm gonna have to go back, and it's gonna go computer, and it's like, you know, the desktop, or I'm going to go D, and it's like XAMPP, blah blah. So to avoid doing that, we're gonna go here, and there's called folder, as we call it, XAMPP files, and here it is. It's in my new folder. In my new folder, we made a file called hello.php, which is gonna say PHP. We're gonna say echo hello world, and it's called hello PHP. As we remember, when we refresh, we're going to get hello.php. When we click it, it says hello world, and that's where you put all your files. Everything you will ever put in the XAMPP, it's going to go to the htdocs folder. This is probably going to be the most important folder, and here is basically where everything goes. And do not touch anything of this. Only thing you can touch is this thing that you made, and nothing else. Anything else, you are probably going to break it, so do not touch it. So that is how you have XAMPP on your machine now. So after this, we're going to upgrade XAMPP, which is going to be way more complicated than this. But before that, I'm going to show you how to enable some quality of life changes. So here, there are a couple of things that I like to run. So for example, first of all, when you stop the XAMPPs, and you stop it here also in the minimize section, when you have to go to XAMPP, and you have to go to like local disk D, and you have to do this and blah blah, and you have to open the control. And when you open the control, you're gonna see it pops up, and it's not activated yet. So in order to activate it first, when you click on it, we can go to config, and we can go to auto start of modules. So what I like to do is I like to start Apache, the server, and mysql. And that's basically it. These two little things is gonna help you out a lot. It's gonna speed up just a couple, like a second or two, but it's so nice. For example, when you open it again, boop, it starts, and it's right here. It's just like, hello sir, how can I assist you? So that's one of the things that I like. The other thing that I like is this. You can do this. You can, like before, send to desktop, create shortcut, and we can say XAMPP. We can do this. We can also control, and we can send to, or actually pin to start menu, but I'm not gonna do that because I already have it here, and this is the other one, which is a little bit confusing. I'm actually gonna talk about it quickly here. So when I open this, as you can see, this is my C drive XAMPP, and here are a couple of errors. Well, for example, the Apache won't start, but MySQL does start. Oops, and MySQL went away too. As you can see, these are the kind of things that I'm going to talk in the upgrade, in the upgrade videos. So you should tune to that too. But for now, one last thing that I want to do in my other thing is that I'm going to go to config, and as you can see here, the regular editor is notepad.exe. And I'm not really a fan of the regular notepad. Even on like Windows 10 systems, I think it's pretty like ugly and basic. And like I said before, I like to use the Notepad++. So, and here we do this because when you click config, and we're going to do this, like I said, in the upgrade video, you're gonna go to here and it just opens like this, and it's just like, it's not that pretty. Like the code isn't like, they don't get like a syntax. It's all black and white, and it's just not easy to do as you would in the other one. And you can set up like the colors and whatever, but it's better for me to use the Notepad. So how do we do that? We go to config and we pick the editor here, and the editor is, we have to find the exe location. We go to Notepad, we click properties, and here is the target. So what is the target? It's this path right here, and we're going to change the target from here to here, and it's going to target that program. So whenever we start it, we click this and we click this, it's going to open it right here, and it's a little bit nice. You can also do it with like Visual Studio Code. You can go properties, you can see like Visual Studio Code here. This is my target, yours might be a little bit different. So you go to config like before, and you can pick pretty much any editor you would like. So you go to Apache, it's gonna take a little bit to open because it's Visual Studio. I recommend you do either the Notepad or the Visual Studio. I recommend the Notepad just because I kind of like it. It looks nice, and it's for these little files, not like a whole big thing. But as you can see in the Visual Studio, and you will see in a second, is that Visual Studio has a little bit of a highlight to it. So you can see there's like highlight here, there's like a comment, and you can see it's a little bit prettier. But like I said before, I prefer to use the Notepad++. So that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. And tune in to the next video if you'd like. Like I said before, you don't have to, but it's very, very beneficial if you do, because we will learn how to upgrade the XAMPP. Because right now, if you remember, the PHP version is 7.4, and we're going to upgrade it to the version 8. So, like we said before, Apache friends, this is the version that we're going to upgrade it to, the version 8.0.18. So now that you've installed XAMPP, next we should learn how to upgrade it. Again, this is totally optional and a little bit complicated, so if you aren't feeling confident, you can stop here, uninstall XAMPP, and reinstall it with the proper version all over again. However, I do recommend to follow along, because A, you will need to upgrade it sometime in the future, and B, you will feel more confident in yourself and gain a valuable skill. The main reason behind the need to upgrade or downgrade, it works both ways, is that once you work on stuff for months or years, or the people you work for need you to upgrade or downgrade, it can be difficult to update everything without blowing everything up and redoing it all over again. This way is more elegant and applies to other areas in a sense you understand the ins and outs more. You'll see what I mean. This has been Cupcake College. Short and sweet videos to get to the sweet point. If you'd like to support the channel, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See ya!